Going on the 718. Oh my god, it's gone. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. And no, sadly you didn't read the title incorrectly. Porsche said goodbye to the 718 GT4.
Oh, no! No!
I just wanted to jump on and film a real quick video because I don't know how many of you will be aware of this. I mean, I know that not everybody follows the same forums that I do, so I don't always get the immediate information in the same way that I do. But yeah, essentially Porsche had one of their internal dealer bulletins leaked. And that essentially says all the product updates coming for model year 24 across the range, not just for the GT4, but for the whole 718 range. And essentially there is going to be no more 718 GT4, 718T or Spider, which was yeah, not a massive shock. It's been rumoured for a long time now, and with the way of the world with EVs and hybrids, it's hardly a surprise, but yeah, it is now official. If you're new to the channel, you might not know, I actually have a 718 GT4 on order. I placed my order a while ago. I started out with a GTS. I'll leave some links to some previous videos so you can go and catch up. But yeah, I have an allocation. Thankfully, my allocation isn't affected. I'm still going to get my car, which was a big relief because I read that and thought, oh no, what about my car? And essentially it's for all model year 24. Well, essentially the way in which they work is you use it like a model designation or like a variant. So all cars currently being produced are model year 2023, and then they switch over to model year 24. Now that switch happens in July typically. So that essentially means anything after July, or that was initially scheduled for July, will be no more. Those orders will not exist. Any model year 24 guarantees for a GT4, quite frankly, no longer exist. They are still continuing to make the GT4 RS, and of course if you've seen any spy shots of the Spider RS, which looks incredible by the way, they will, by the sounds of it, still commit to making those. I think there was a commitment at least of a year for the 4RS, and I would imagine, given that they've not announced the Spider yet, there's going to be at least another year of production on that. So it really seems like they've kind of moved resources away to keep pumping out 4RS allocations, which is hopefully good news because that means that more people will get cars. But sad news for anybody that was hoping for a model year 24 GT4. I feel even more lucky that, you know, not only is this my first Porsche, but it might well be one of the last handful of GT4s made off of the production line at Stuttgart, which is, yeah, super, super special. I'm just going to pull up the link, the leaked bulletin on my screen now, and I'll read it out to you. But it essentially says, this post details changes and additions to the model year 23 718 models that have been released to both the car, internet car configurator and dealer car configurator as of March 29th. So I'm filming this on the 31st of March, so only a few days ago. And then it says in brackets at the bottom, note that the 718T, Spider and GT4 models have been discontinued. Please see below for details on changes and additions from model year 23 to model year 24. Estimated on sale timing will be posted to the sales PPN space, don't know what that is. But essentially, if I scroll over, it just goes through to talk about some of the additional changes that are coming for the existing 718 models that still exist. So the GTS 4 litre sounds like it's still going to exist, which is good. So anyone wanting that flat 6 4 litre and naturally aspirated engine still has the opportunity to get it in a GTS. But essentially it just goes through to speak about optional equipment. Feel free to pause if you want to read that. It does say at the bottom, Bose remains on constraint, so it has not been re-added to packages. However, it is available for standalone all models. Interesting point here, which I thought was super telling, I guess. Due to autonomous emergency braking not being available on 718 models, please encourage manual transmission orders wherever possible. So that's interesting. So will we see a massive influx of manual cars versus PDK? I remember when the PDK first come out, I suppose this is only really for the GT4, but the residual values of a PDK 718 GT4 are much higher than a manual. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects the market for the other 718 models. It will also be interesting to see how firm dealers are going to be with that. Like if someone walks in and says, I want a PDK, are they going to tell them no? I don't know. Brake pads for the PCCB option on the 718 GT4 RS have been updated and optimised. No further information on that, but I would imagine something to do with the compound maybe. And the fire extinguisher option has been changed from steel to aluminium. And then it just goes through to talk about colours. All colours, of course. So I guess this is less so about the GT4 because, of course, it's not going to exist anymore. But maybe of interest if you have a 718 on order. Carrera White Metallic, Python Green, and Aventurine Green Metallic have all been discontinued. Now, I'm super surprised about the greens. No, maybe not so for Aventurine Green, but definitely for Python, because greens, I mean, how many hashtags have we seen make green great again? Green's become a really popular colour. So yeah, interesting that they discontinued the green. I wonder if they're going to bring back any different ones. But yeah, they're essentially the bulletin messages that come out. I have seen hundreds of thread comments, of Instagram stories, Facebook posts, in all the various groups that I'm in, just saying if you have a 718 GT4, now is the time to keep hold of it. And I kind of believe that to be true. If you look at the 981, they're holding their value incredibly well. And I suppose with anything that becomes discontinued, people want it. You know, the future of the GT4 is super unknown. We don't know whether it's going to remain on a new generation. Of course, it won't be the 718 anymore. It'll be the next model code. But there's no guarantee that it's still going to be a full ICE car. It could be a hybrid. It could be a battery-powered, maybe 4-cylinder. There's no confirmation really about what the new GT4 could look like in terms of drivetrain. So if you want a GT4, naturally aspirated, potentially the last flat six naturally aspirated engine, maybe now's the time to buy one. I will certainly be keeping a close eye on values over the next year or so. I feel super blessed because my car is going to be coming, at the moment is scheduled to arrive, I think it's the second week of June. So again, it's going to be one of the very, very last cars to arrive, which is so sick. I'm so excited. Speaking of my car, I'm not going to do a full locked-in spec video just because, well, I actually put a poll out on my Instagram and said, do you want to see a full locked-in spec video, or would you rather I wait till collection day? And it was basically 50-50. So I'm going to leave it and wait till collection day and just keep some of it a surprise. But one thing I should mention, just which now contradicts information in my last video. When I last filmed that video, the lightweight carbon buckets and Club Sport and PCCBs were not possible to order along with PTS. All of that is still true, with exception to the buckets and the Club Sport pack. So I have added that, and I have massively contradicted myself because I was like, oh, this is going to be a comfort car, like GT Cruiser, road trips. I don't want the uncomfortable buckets. And then they come back and I was like, I need them in my life. So I've added them to my spec. Thankfully it came back just in time before I took delivery. And yeah, so we've gone buckets, we've gone Club Sport, we've gone harnesses. So that's as much as I'm going to give you for now, but I have decided a final spec. And yeah, the car goes into build, I think the second week of May. If it's interesting to you guys, I can keep you updated along the way as it goes into each different stage on the app. But yeah, let me know if you want to see that. So yeah, I guess I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. If you were hoping to get a GT4, let me know down in the comments if you managed to find a dealer with any open allocations. As far as I'm aware, all the dealer allocations are out now, and I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed by this and shocked that they've ended it so early. But I guess now the only place that you can end up really getting one is on the used market. So yeah, going to keep a keen eye on those values on the used market for sure and see how it reacts. But yeah, wanted to make sure that any of you that were interested in a GT4 are up to date and aware, because yeah, it's not quite mainstream just yet. So if you enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, give it a big thumbs up. Again, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I suppose it's exciting for owners, not so exciting for people who are hoping to buy one. But it's going to be super interesting to see if they release anything about the GT4's future and what that drivetrain looks like. Please make sure you like the video. Please subscribe if you're not already. Make sure you turn on post notifications, and I will see you on the next one. See you later.